make the best decisions for the town. We ask you to guide our troops and keep them safe and be with our town. Sustain is your name. Amen.
Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, I'm going to open up with the pledge of civility. John's not here, and he likes to always start the meetings that way, so we will be respectful of one another even when we disagree. We will direct all comments to the issues, and we will avoid personal attacks. And we'll go to item 1.
That was John.
Huh?
That was John.
What was John?
I thought John had this one.
He did,
He
but
does.
Mr. Kenny has the proclamation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's item 1. So if John's not here, it's Flood Awareness Week in the town of Hilliard. So I'll read this. Flood Awareness Week in the town of Hilliard. Whereas the town of Hilliard has experienced severe weather in the past in the form of extreme rainfall or tropical system events resulting in flooding in both coastal and riverline areas. And this flooding has caused damage and flood losses to homes and buildings in all areas, whether they are high-risk special flood hazard areas or low, moderate risk flood areas, flood zones. And whereas the town of Hilliard is a voluntary participant in the National Flood Insurance Program that provides residents with the opportunity to protect themselves against flood loss through the purchase of flood insurance at reduced insurance premium rates, as well as setting higher regulatory standards to reduce flood risk and potential flood damage to their property. And whereas the reduction of loss of life and property damage can be achieved when appropriate flood preparedness, control, and mitigation measures are taken before a flood. And whereas public education and awareness of potential weather hazards and methods of protection are critical to the health, safety, and welfare of the residents, the Florida Floodplain Managers Association, FEMA, have declared the week of March 3rd through the 9th, 2025 as Flood Awareness Week to promote awareness and increase knowledge of flood risk, the availability of flood insurance, flood protection methods, and how to prepare for emergencies. Now, therefore, I, John not being here, P. Beasley, of the town of Hilliard, do hereby proclaim March 3rd, 2025 through March 9th, 2025 as Flood Awareness Week in the town of Hilliard, and further encourage the citizens of Hilliard to increase their knowledge of how to protect themselves and their property from flooding. And now we'll move on to the regular meeting. Are there any additions or deletions to the agenda?
I'd like to delete item number 4, but I need to add an item for council approval of the termination of an employee.
Do one at a time.
I'd like to delete item number 4.
Motion to remove item number 4.
Second.
I'm sorry, give me a minute. Okay,
All in favor?
And then I'd like to add an item for council approval of termination of an employee in Public Works.
And item 15.
Second.
All in favor? Anything else?
No, that's it for me.
Anybody else? All right. Item 3, reduction 2.
Yeah, this is every 5 years we have our fire hydrants inspected, and this is just approval capital budget item for WWGA to come out and inspect all the fire hydrants throughout the town.
Motion to approve.
Second. All in favor? Table item 4. Item 5. Dan, since you have it.
Yes, this is Miss Lisa's item. This is to formalize the setting of the annual joint workshop with the Nassau County School Board for Monday, March 3rd at 6 p.m. I believe this is one of the dates you gave them as a suggestion, and they have approved that date, so you get final approval.
Motion to set the workshop for March 3rd at 6 o'clock.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Item number 6. Alicia.
Yes, sir. This is just for you guys to approve the agreement between the town of Hilliard and the Northeast Florida Fairgrounds for us to use their grounds for the Vietnam Voices Traveling Memorial Wall from April 17th through the 21st.
Has Commissioner reviewed it?
Yes.
Was this on the insurance?
We have to sign the contract with them, and we also have to add them as additionally insured. Miss Lisa's still working on that insurance policy. I've yet to see that.
Or just have a cost, right?
There's no cost on the renting of the facility. It's free.
Not that the insurance.
We're waiting on that
Still waiting.
still.
So we were waiting on last meeting too, right? Yes.
About a year in the making.
What's that?
About a year in the making on that.
Well, I'll make a motion on this.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Item number 7.
Yes, sir. So 2 meetings ago, we tabled a public hearing for ordinance 2024-13 at the request of the applicant. On February 14th, I got word back from that applicant, and they have asked to withdraw that application from consideration because it was an item that you tabled at a public hearing. I wanted you to revisit and accept their withdrawal of consideration.
Motion to accept.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, item 8 is the companion to that. They also had ordinance 2024-14. It's the same situation you tabled before. They've withdrawn consideration. I'd like you to accept their withdrawal.
Motion to accept. I'll second.
Got one question about, can you just let everybody know where the piece of property is at so everybody's aware?
Yes, I'm sorry. This is the Oxford Pines by 4 Star, and it was the one that was north of town on the east side of US 1. It was the 78 townhome proposal
By Chet Ross.
beside Mr. Brock's property. Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Item number 9.
All right, this should be an expenses and revenues report provided by Ms. Purvis. It should be in your packet.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Same sign. Item number 10.
Okay. Number 10, we discussed this at your workshop with the need for my hours to expand. The request is for up to 30 hours a week. The expectation is it will be 3 8-hour days in the office and then leaving the additional time for meetings that fall outside those days or meetings that happen in the evenings.
Motion to approve. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Item number 11.
It's approval of the minutes from your February 6th regular meeting.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Item number 12.
Okay, this is town council approval of a payable for the project acquiring land at the north side of Hilliard Air Park in the amount of $3,200. It's part of a 100% funded grant from FDOT.
Motion to approve.
Got a motion and a second.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Item number 13.
Okay, item number 13 is town council approval of PQH Group payable through January 22nd, 2025. Project named Hurricane Shelter Community Center Project in the amount of $11,000. FDEM 100% grant funded project.
Motion to approve. What's that?
I was just going to explain what it is.
I was about
to ask, what is
Didn't
the
look what it
$11,000?
is.
I'll second with the comments.
Okay, there was $22,000. If you look at the page, there was $22,000 for the design and development of it, and this is 50% of that. Can I have a motion in a second? All in favor? Aye. That sounds good. Item number 14.
Town council approval of Island Hopper home repairs payable through February 3rd, 2025, project gym maintenance in the amount of $5,000. This is a capital funded project, and it is a lump sum contract of $36,750. This is one of those payments.
And what this is for, just talking with Gabe earlier, is it's for the siding up there, and they're to a point where they finished so much of it, and he was happy with the progress, and he said that he was fine with where this was at.
You guys haven't had a chance to see it. It is a big improvement.
It is a big improvement.
Everybody did that. That's good. Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Item number 15.
We decided to terminate an employee this past week. He's had his precautions already handed to him before termination was the last step, and just asking for y'all's approval to follow through with it.
Motion to approve. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Additional comments. Anybody from the public got anything to say tonight? Yes, sir.
She does first.
Go up, state your name and your address.
Can
Yeah,
you
turn it.
press the button on the base of that, turn it on for us? Thank you so much.
And concerning the property next to me that they're going to build on, well, in the back, I go back there and look, okay? The back of my property and his, they're even. And I know he said about bringing a lot of dirt in. Well, I know he's going to build it up because it's so wet back there. Well, if this is his and this is mine, and he builds it up, foot, 2 foot, 3 foot, I'm sure at least 5 or 6 foot because it's so low back there. I like to know where that water's going to run. I know I get water that sits in the back of my property, but the ditch in the back of my property is not my ditch. And I just, if the town would maybe do something with the ditch that goes underneath the highway from back there back farther, maybe it might help keep my place from flooding. And about like the ponds, I've never seen where ponds really help flooding. And I know he made a statement about, I think the ponds may work. To me, that's not a good answer. I think this will work. Why not? Yes or no, this will work, but I think it'll work, or it may work, you know? And I'm just concerned of not just mine, because there's other people that live in low areas around there. I don't want theirs to flood either, you know, and I just, you know, maybe, and I know maybe a lot can't be done, but maybe the ditch that runs from underneath the highway, maybe back where it's not on nobody's property. I know maybe somebody can clean it, you know, because it does sit back there. The water just sits, it don't never drain back hardly. Anyway, that's it.
Thank you.
My name is Orrin McLean. My address 37847 Henry Smith Road. I have a few comments. First comment I had concerning the newspaper. I've seen some negative things about this, about the council twice. And that's not to reflect on us, because we're not writing it. But people are saying that about this, about the council and about things that's been said. I think if we're going to run this as a business, because it's a business. I mean, we don't need to get name calling, finger computers and all that stuff. I mean, these people here are the ones who elected y'all, and they're not stupid. I mean, some of us we have good educations, and you know, and we know what business is. Number one, where I live, Kenny, you know where I live. when we moved in there 11 years ago, we had a survey done. Now, they've had another survey done, and where that creek is, above that, past the creek, is some of our land. And I'm wondering, how is he gonna cut that down and fill that creek up when it's on our property? And that question's to the council because he's not here. He can't answer it.
You haven't been on the agenda for us to answer back tonight.
Okay. Okay, well, how can I get on the agenda?
Before the meeting, you can
Okay.
get put on the agenda.
Okay.
You can have something put on the agenda.
Well, is there gonna be another meeting before they start doing this?
Yes, sir.
Several.
So, yeah.
Okay, and let me just say this, 11 years, I keep hearing this about cleaning the ditch out. I've been there 11 years, and not one time has an employee from this city been out there to clean that ditch. And I keep hearing, we're gonna take care of it, but no one ever does. And that's why the water's backing up, Kenny, because all the trash down there, I mean, the water's backing up. And it's gonna get worse whenever, like my wife said, when he builds, because I had a friend in Jacksonville who had the same issue in Ponte Vedra, and they built up, and the property flooded. And my question is, did the zoning department do all their homework? Not the engineer, but did the zoning department do all their homework before they said, and you know, we're going to do this deal? I mean, I understand this is a done deal, and pretty much, you know, I mean, what we say is, you know, it's just what we say. But I mean, has everybody done their homework on this? Because I've talked to I've talked to two people, and I just want to read this to you, because I know he's talked a lot about the Army Corps. Okay, I heard it. He talked about the Army Corps of Engineers. I've talked to them twice. They've called me. They know nothing about this. And for him to say that they're working with him, and for them, and I talked to the head guy there, and he says they know nothing about it.
Thank you. Anybody else? Jared, you got anything tonight?
Yeah, one of our volunteer firemen's wife passed away a couple of days ago. If you guys keep them in your prayers. This past month, we got all the hose testing done. We didn't lose a whole lot of hose, which is a good thing. Keep Lisa in your prayers as she continues to heal. And Councilman Hunter's wife, she's healing as well. And about the ditches, so I know this is not going to make a lot of sense to you, but when it comes to cleaning the ditches, those are not ours to maintain. That's County Road Henry Smith. The people who have to clean that are the county. We don't have any rights. We actually have to get a permit to work inside of their roadway. So the town itself is never going to be able to clean those ditches. That will actually be the county. Now, once those ditches fall onto private property, only the property owners are allowed to clean those. And if those,
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but
point of order, please.
I called them and they said,
No. This, I mean,
We're not trying to be rude, it's just you can't speak during, you've had your time to speak. But no, what I'm trying to say though is that you can reach out to them. The town itself cannot clean those ditches. We don't have any rights because that's technically the county's property. So we can't do any work inside of those. We can get town staff on, maybe Corey can reach out. Can you maybe reach out to the county and see if they can take a look at it and see if there's something that needs to be cleaned out? But as far as private property, no government municipality, we can't do any waterway clearing. And if those are wetlands, nobody's going to touch them until they're allowed to. And if I can tell from looking at your property map, that's a wetland behind you. So cleaning those is going to be really hard because the St. John's Water stances, they like to keep wetlands. So when it comes to cleaning them, it's going to be hard. But on the roadway sections, if it's in the road right of way, I know you live in the town, but you abut a county road. If that makes enough sense. I mean, right? I mean, so there's nothing that we as a town, I can't ask Corey and Charles to go out tomorrow and clean that ditch because they don't have any rights to be operating in that roadway. But Corey can reach out with the county and see if he can't get somebody to come and take a look at it for you, if that will help in any way. And that's all I have.
Joe?
Gators got everything rocking and rolling with the sports, and remember the Mason family and the loss of their grandmother.
Lee?
Two things. I'm in the process of scheduling a meeting with the airport to go over some of our concerns we've talked about in the last several months. We've been trying to figure out a date here in the next 2 weeks, so I should have an update on that here shortly. And then I'm just going to ask, I had Ms. Wallett's a meeting yesterday with the engineers and stuff at Tompkins Preserve, and I'm going to ask her when it's her turn to talk, to give a little update on that meeting.
Okay, yes,
But I did want to address, it's not a done deal. It's far from a done deal. I sat through a long meeting yesterday, and there's a whole lot of work to do before it's a done deal. We're just going through the process. So don't say it's a done deal. They're not breaking that ground anytime soon. That's it.
Board,
I just want to let y'all know, because I know that regarding Henry Smith, I received a text from Allison McCullough about Henry Smith, the pave job. I've had a lot of personal phone calls on it. I'm not sure about y'all, but that road is going to be repaid due to the contractor's expense because it didn't meet the requirements of the county. Because I'm sure people's watching this that may be concerned about it. Just want to put that out there.
John, you
Can I
have
ask you
anything
to
to
show me
add?
the clock, please? Can you show me the clock?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry I'm late, but traffic was horrible coming from Orlando and,
You don't need that.
oh, we're done?
We're
We're in comments.
Oh,
Have you got anything?
I know that you did a good job taking over and I appreciate it.
You did a great job.
He did a great job. 22 minutes? Good job. That's it.
Mr. Kenny hasn't given comment.
Okay.
I don't have anything to add. Leanne, how about you?
Yes, so, as Mr. Hunter, started the conversation, we had a hour and a half meeting with the Tompkins Preserve project yesterday. Because they got back the flow testing that you requested and it did not meet the standards of our manual. They proposed a couple of avenues to reach that standard. Our engineer was on the phone, we discussed them. After they left the building, we presented some additional options to the engineer for them to take a look at. And then about 2 hours later, the manager for the project called me and asked me to put a pause. Because if they're gonna have to do more utility improvements up front, they may have to rework their whole project. So they want us to pause on any further involving our engineers or public hearings until they figure that out. And then they'll make a decision. I'm supposed to have contact with them at the beginning of the week about what they want to do going forward. They may come up with a path forward. They may also come up with a withdrawal. We're not sure yet how that will go. But they will be back before you for public hearings before anything's done, and it will be letters to everybody. 300 feet again, all 81 of those people will get letters again, newspaper ads, signs on all the things before there's another public hearing. Maybe a while.
Is that it?
Can
Yes.
I make one more comment now that she said that? I just want everybody to understand that, like, I know everybody thinks it's all a done deal. Like weeks ago, everybody said it was posted, it's already done. There's a lot that goes into this. A lot of people put a lot of work, it costs the developers a lot of money. And we as a council, Ms. Wallett's especially, front lines, hold them to our standards. And because of that, sometimes it falls through, just like when we withdraw the townhomes up on the north end, they withdraw because they just can't afford to bring it up to the standards. So we do hold them accountable to do what's right for the town. So just, we go through the process and it happens. And, some will make it through. We're going to get houses. We had a meeting at 6, and it was a retired city manager that worked with the city managers. I can't remember the name of it. What his organization is. Anyway, he's a volunteer for them. And, one of the first thing he said is growth is going to happen. It just is. But our job is to hold them to the standards we set. And I think things are going well, but you will see projects come and go. We will get houses, but we are going to protect the town.
All right, and when Dallas says the town, he means the citizens too.
Right.
So not just the town as a town, that's all of us, we're all the town.
Right.
So just to clarify that. And keep the Giger family in your prayers too, because we lost Mr. Giger.
You have one more thing?
That's it.
I have one more thing. I do, Corey. You get that light changed for us? And everybody, don't forget about the Food Truck Friday next Friday, the 28th. And then has the attorney,
Not yet.
The only, I think, update is you approved at the last meeting the purchase of the Gigger property by the air park. That was consummated and closed. It's now owned by the town. We're trying to wrap up the remaining litigation. We have the case to quiet the title and fix everything. We have a motion for summary judgment that is being set for hearing, so that case should end soon. And I think that's all I have to report at this time.
And I know what you feel like having to drive here, because I had to come from Orlando to here, and that's one of the reasons I'm late.
I think it's a great drive. I enjoy listening to my audiobooks on the drive. My problem is more kid in nature at the moment, but I'm glad you know.